The Secret Misses. Chapter 621. Angelo persisted, even though I have tried my best, but the likelihood of us winning this time is quite low. The award is so important this time around. I am sure that James will definitely choose my favorite work. Luna's face darkened. To Angelo, this was an arduous battle. Because his competition was not anyone else, it was himself. Don't worry, as long as you've done your best, that's enough. Even if you don't make it this time, there will be a next time and another next time. One day, you will definitely defeat your demons from the past. You have unlimited possibilities, while the other rival only has a pile of design drafts that will run out one day. There is nothing to be afraid of, Angelo. Angelo looked at the girl's shining eyes and felt recharged with gusto. He nodded at her confidently. Okay, rest well then. There's still a hard battle to fight tomorrow. The next day at the Golden Award venue. As the highest honorary award of Chinese fashion design, the venue was decorated luxuriously and had a magical vibe to it. The seats were hung a meter above the ground and the lights were divided into 5 colorful strobes, glowing onto the T-shaped stage that was inspired by Noah's Ark. Passes to the competition were hard to get since everyone present was well known within the fashion circle. Even Luna received an invitation only because she was the owner of the studio, which submission was shortlisted, and not because she was a celebrity. Luna walked in with Angelo and Freya, poised. Just a few steps into the venue, they found that the path ahead of them had been blocked. The competition had yet to start, but the photographers and reporters were already crazily surrounding the hot designer highly anticipated to take home the award, James. The shutters of their cameras clicked away and they were scrambling to ask him questions. James, are you confident to win the award this time around? Everyone's saying that this Golden Award will definitely be yours. We heard that the last Golden Award winner, Teacher Li Ming, also predicted that you would take home the award. Is that true? This time, there are many seniors from the entertainment circle present and a number of them are your fans. They are even wearing your designs here to support you today. Do you have anything to say about that? James looked overbearing and confident in his straight posture. Facing the reporters surrounding him, he looked calm as he answered, "Every design is my heartfelt work. Naturally, I am confident about them. However, it is, after all, a competition, so we still need to leave it to the judges' evaluations. As for Teacher Li Ming, he is also a senior that I respect very much and I thank him for his compliments. And, of course, not forgetting all the love from the beautiful ladies." When they heard this, Luna and Angelo didn't react, but Freya exploded, "Pfft. This person is so shameless. What heartfelt work? Whose heartfelt work is it really?" When she was first hired, Freya did not know who Angelo was. It was only after she saw his designs that she thought they looked familiar. Due to the fact that plagiarizers were deemed the scum of all designers in the world of design, she could not help but harp on Angelo copying James's style and other malicious things. She started to look down on Angelo. Despite his assistant's negativity then, Angelo did not rebut at all and he continued to design from dawn till dusk. After interacting with him over some time, she slowly realized that something was not right. Angelo was practically designing with his life at stake. That did not seem like what a plagiarizer would have done. It was only after she bugged Luna for a long time that she knew the ugly truth. Chapter 622. No thanks to James, the doorway was blocked for over 10 minutes before the reporters finally dispersed to interview the other participants. Angelo was an unfamiliar face to the industry, plus he wore a mask since he was not feeling well that day, so naturally, no one paid him any attention. Nevertheless, the trio was happy to be left alone by the media vultures and they immediately rushed backstage to get prepared. When Angelo passed by, James eyed his back suspiciously. However, he kept his gaze short and continued to chit-chat to the surrounding designers who were brown-nosing him. Backstage, models were busy getting dolled up and some even walked around in their underwear only. There were many male designers and assistants present, but everyone was already used to it. Because this was a new situation to Angelo, some distress rose in his eyes. However, when he started to turn his focus on the clothes the models paraded, his hawk eyes shone brightly. Wow, so many models with such amazing figures. Even a girl like myself is drooling. Freya swallowed, her head whipping about to catch everyone in their glory. At that moment, a bold model walked towards their direction in skyscraper heels and snapped, "Move it. Don't block the way." The model who was getting changed in front of Angelo was shoved by her and her dress was about to be stepped on. It was a good thing that Luna was quick with her hands and feet. She grabbed the model by the waist and stabilized her as she wobbled. Not only would she have tripped, even the dress would have been ruined otherwise. "Hey! What's wrong with you? You almost ruined our dress." Freya was high-strung as she immediately pulled the offending model to a halt. The snobbish model looked at their outfit. Just a single glance was obvious that their design was close to James's. She instantly looked condescendingly at them and sneered, "Just a piece of junk that was so obviously ripped off. You'd best believe that I can disqualify you from the competition at the snap of my fingers. Move it." Freya wanted to argue but then recognized her as the world-famous model, Angie. She was a familiar face in the industry and was closely connected to the organizers of the award. On an occasion such as today, insulting her was the last thing to do, so she could only purse her lips and suppress her anger. "Angie, dearest, come over quickly. It's time to change," someone called for her from afar. Angie immediately broke into a smile and walked over. "Oh my, Director James, this dress is unbelievably gorgeous. Isn't it? I told you so. You'll definitely love it." James clapped his hands in delight. I love it, all right. Only you can surprise me every time. No wonder even Teacher Lee said that the Golden Award will definitely be yours this time." Angie purred, then she looked over at Angelo and continued, "But the standards of the Golden Award is really deteriorating over the years. After all, how can a piece of work look like so similar to this too? Just now, someone wanted to pick a fight with me, but their dress was obviously a copy of your style. Way too funny." James adopted the attitude of an experienced professional and laughed generously. The industry is like that, you'd best get used to it." Angie played around with the material of the outfit in her hand and fell deeper in love with it the more she looked at it. "Teacher James, you're amazing, every dress you create is so different. You were practically born to design. You deserve Teacher Lee's praises. You're always getting copied but no one can ever surpass you." The moment he saw the outfit in James's hands, Angelo instantly turned pale. "What's wrong, Director Angelo?" Seeing Angelo not looking quite right, Freya quickly peered at him worriedly. Luna frowned. "This James is really ruthless. He actually chose the same one." Angelo had mentioned that outfit to her before. She even remembered how thrilled and proud he looked when he mentioned that design. Chapter 623. Angelo quavered as his hands trembled slightly. "That was a design from the peak of my inspiration and it was my most perfect work. The theme of it is life and there are 6 outfits from that series. James had just enough of them to use for this competition." Luna wanted to console him, but Angelo took a deep breath and calmed himself down. He consoled Luna instead. "Boss, the competition is about to start. You go out first, I'll come after." Seeing his calm confidence, Luna patted his shoulders. "Okay, call me if there's anything. Freya, you look after him well. If he's feeling sick or uncomfortable anywhere, immediately inform me." "Understood, sis she. Even if Director bites me, I will be determined to report him to you." "Good, report all you want, sis she will support you." Listening to the two of them, Angelo looked helplessly at them, but in his cold-blooded bones, he felt a ripple of warmth. He carefully took out the outfit for the competition and his radiance beamed from his face. The competition was about to begin and the venue was bustling with anticipation. After the reporters had finished interviewing the participants, they clambered to interview the famous names from the industry. Recently, The World was heavily promoted to be showing in theaters soon. As the main female character, the probability of exposes and topics about Emma was naturally very high. Plus, just as James was the predicted winner of the Golden Award, Emma was the owner of history, so most of the reporters had surrounded her. Miss Brown, how did you discover James? Could you share your story with us? The reporters quickly asked what they thought would be the largest scoop for the public to feast on. Emma smiled demurely and said, if you really want to talk about being a good judge of talent, it's actually not me. My boyfriend first discovered James. It was only later on when I looked and decided that he was not too shabby, so after some discussion with him, we decided to invest. That's actually such an interesting story. That means you and your boyfriend are really connected telepathically. Even both your judgments are spot on. The world has yet to be released, but there is already so much attention given to it. The box offices will definitely sell well then. In fact, we heard that The World will be nominated for quite a few prestigious awards. Wow, Emma, you've got a fantastic harvest this year, one of the more familiar reporters complimented. Ha ha ha, yeah, I've even thought in advance about the headline for when Emma wins the title. The reporters only went back to their seats when the host announced that the competition was going to begin. Luna was slightly further from the main sitting area, leaning in a corner. While the host started her opening script, she had closed her eyes to rest for a while when suddenly an annoying voice was heard. Isn't this Luna, the big star, Luna? Are you here to watch the competition too? Didn't you know that you need an entrance ticket for today? Be careful not to get chased out for crashing. The person who spoke was Helen, and she was holding on to Emma's arm. Vexation from being disturbed flashed across Luna's lazy eyes, and she slowly raised her gaze to look at Helen, exaggerating with a shocked expression. Miss Helen, have you switched jobs to become part of security now? Helen was stunned, then she shouted angrily, you're the one who's the security guard. Luna nodded like realization just dawned on her. Oh, sorry, turns out I'm being a busybody. I misunderstood. You. Helen sputtered in indignation. Emma reminded kindly, Luna, Helen is just being nice. All the seats are reserved, you can't simply sit anywhere you like. Chapter 624. Luna just shut her eyes, weary to waste another second on these people. Helen pulled Emma away and walked towards the VIP seats. Forget her, since she will be the one embarrassed and not us. I can't believe she would dare to come to a place like this. Does she even know what fashion is? Emma hesitated, maybe she really did receive an invite? Helen immediately said with a convinced expression, no way. Today's seats are hard to come by, even my mother only got it after begging from so many people. I almost couldn't accompany you here. Her relationship with Cleo seems pretty good. Emma said intentionally. Helen's face stiffened. I don't think so. Otherwise, with Cleo's capabilities, he could have definitely arranged a front row VIP seat. Why would she sit in a nook like that? These kind of people are simply disgusting. She's everywhere. She scoffed, okay, let's not talk about her anymore. Emma, when the award ceremony is over later, let's go straight to the Royal Jazz Hotel. I've already booked a room for you guys to celebrate. Emma shot her an angry look. We still don't know if we'll win the award. Why don't you know? I've already asked around. Among the shortlisted works this time around, your designs are the most talked about one. The highest award must be yours. Then, she closed in towards Emma's ear mysteriously and said softly, I've gotten my mom to inquire for you, the golden award this time is James's. Don't worry. Emma's eyes gleamed when she heard this, but she was still humble. Best to talk after the results are out. As she said this, James took his seat too. Helen immediately teased him, hey, our talent is here. After winning the award this time, tons of people will try to hire you, won't they? Beauty Lee, look at you. My boss is the reincarnation of my parents. Even if I had wings to fly to the sky, I would never leave the boss. James had always been an opportunist and his brown-nosing skills were top-notch. On the other side, Angelo and the assistant sat beside Luna. Everything settled? Angelo nodded, he had done all he could. Now, he could only wait for the results. Very soon, the host's opening speech had ended and the competition officially began. On the T-shaped stage, after a round of the dazzling lights twinkling, the first participants' designs were paraded on stage. The screen displayed a lengthy paragraph by way of introduction. Yagyu, the winner of the 17th Chinese Fashion Golden Awards. Member of the Chinese Fashion Designer Association, member of the Art of Fashion Council, previously granted the titles of Outstanding Fashion Designer and Top 10 Best Fashion Designers. Yagyu's theme was the 12 Chinese zodiac's totem elements, catching the attention of everyone. However, after a short burst of admiration, everyone immediately sensed that they seemed very familiar. Pfft, even Yagyu is out of talented designers? This is obviously James's style. Since James made the Chinese style trendy, everyone started to follow suit with Chinese elements. It's so overdone. The point is that those people were intentional with their designs. Look closely and you will notice that they are all not outstanding. They completely missed James's natural flow and spontaneity. As Freya listened to the criticisms around her, she felt herself breaking out in cold sweat. Just impersonations were already abused like that. Wait till director Angelo's designs came out. How harshly would they be criticized? Chapter 625. The trio watched the other participating designs patiently and soon, it was finally their turn to display their pride and joy on stage. However, to their utter confusion, the next girl that strutted on stage was not their model but another participant's. What's happening? Luna stared incredulously. Freya quickly said, getting to her feet, I'll go backstage to ask. Very soon, Freya returned with tears welling up and said between pants, the organizers said that we have been rearranged to be the last to go on. When I asked them why, they actually dared to tell me that going last will be even better since we can be the finale. But, the second from the last to be on stage is James. Our design is already very similar to theirs and now they have intentionally put us right after them. Forget about winning any award, we will definitely be criticized to ashes. They had no doubt that this move was probably executed by that model, Angie. That woman was notorious in the industry for being rude and unreasonable. One wrong move and she would stir trouble up for you. At last, it was Angelo who consoled them nonchalantly, no problem, if my designs are really considered to be the work of plagiarism, the arrangement doesn't really matter anyway. The competition was based on point system on the spot. The 6 judges would total up an average score assigned to the design. Thus far, out of all the designs that had been presented, 5 of them had already received scores above 9. The competition was very tight among all of them and tension was high. Unfortunately for Yagyu, even though he had put in a lot of thought to his work, he only received 7 points. It was apparent that the judges did not really like his mere following of the trend. At that moment, the venue suddenly burst into a frenzy of whoops of admiration and the rapid clicking of cameras. It was James's turn to shine. Even Luna, Freya and Angelo himself were very fascinated by the models on stage. Of course, the most dazzling piece was worn by Angie. The long dress was loaded with flowers like the coming of spring, instantly giving the onlookers an energetic vibe. The vintage embroidery combined with modern dimensional tailoring worked to fuse the old and the new as well as the East and the West, successfully showing off the perfect merging of traditional culture and modern fashion. It also fully corresponded with the theme of life. With such an internationally acclaimed model as Angie, high-quality brocade material, and one of the finest silks in the world, the star piece stood out and dulled everything else. Ning Corporation sponsored the jewelry worn by the models and the bling on them only served to highlight how avant-garde the line was. James's entire line could only be described with one word, perfect. Every dress made the crowd have the urge to buy it on the spot. The female celebrities and socialites already started to get their connections to order the clothing from the series. Even though it was Angelo's design, Luna was aware that the more the designs were praised, the worse Angelo felt. Just as she was about to console him, she saw a huge and frightening burn mark on his hand. She asked sternly, "What's wrong with your hand?" Angelo instantly shrunk. "Nothing, I was just not careful." "You were just checking the pieces. How could you carelessly burn your hand like this?" "Freya, what happened?" Luna turned to ask Freya with a threatening glare. Freya looked lost. She rambled, I don't know either. Just now, Director Gong said he had a little more to wrap up, so I came over to look for you first. I don't know what happened either. Boss, it's really nothing. As they were talking, James's score was revealed. Freya looked at the score and was instantly filled with hopelessness. 9.9. Director Gong, should I praise you? Do your designs have to be so good? There's been so many designs out already, but there has never been such a high score. The highest score was only 9.6. You're just too much. Chapter 626. Luna did not know whether to laugh or cry. It seemed like being too talented was also a frustration. Angelo's work not only had a solid theme, it even included the appreciation of culture, making it perfect for a huge award like this. With such the team's strength and the best resources, it was no wonder the judges loved it. The applause in the venue was becoming increasingly thunderous, and half of the people offered James and Emma a standing ovation in between congratulations. All the reporters had also turned their cameras towards him, ready to shoot the scene of him going up the stage to accept the coveted award. James looked delighted as he stood up and thanked everyone, launching into humble courtesy words. You all have held me in too high of a regard. This is the outcome of the entire team's efforts. Especially my boss, Miss Emma. If not for her, there would not be the James you see today. Emma smiled. Don't be so humble, you are the soul and core of our studio. Now that James had snagged such a huge award, Emma would naturally be kinder in order to make him stay and be loyal to her. Just as James rearranged his outfit and was ready to step out to receive his award, the host suddenly announced, Everyone, please don't rush, we still have one last participant. What? There's one more? What's happening? Just give out the award already. Isn't this a waste of time? There's no choice. That's how competitions are. We're too impatient, let's just wait for the entire show to finish. The results are set after all, and I could use this time to prepare the content for the interview later. When he heard the host, James stopped mid-step to the stage and he looked slightly awkward. Then, he suddenly remembered that Angie had secretly told him that she moved the copycat to be the last. When he recalled this, he regained his good-natured expression and sat down again. When that participant's work appeared on stage, not only would it be a good opportunity to make him look better, he could also use the opportunity to shut down the other crazies who kept copying his trends, thus killing two birds with one stone. Emma also did not seem rushed at all. After all, the award was already in the bag. The few participants who could be deemed any competition had already finished earlier, so what was left would just be a sideshow to elevate their performance. All the female celebrities and socialites present were cozying up to Emma while the designers surrounded James and the cameras were solely focused on James. Even the judges had already started packing up and were preparing to leave. When the final participant's work came on stage, almost nobody paid it any attention. Angelo did not seem very well, his fever had worsened while his breath began to come in ragged pants. The burn mark on his hand had not been treated either, probably because he kept hiding his pain. Luna held him up as he was shaking unstably. Hold on for a little while more, we can go home very soon. She had wanted Freya to bring him home immediately, but she knew very well that he would definitely want to see the final outcome. She had seen Angelo's participating design and was blown away by it. If life had not been presented, he definitely would win the first place. But with life going up before them, not only would they not bag any awards, they would even fail horribly. With a loud zap, the bright lights that were meant to complement the theme of life previously suddenly dimmed down. The music also changed into a low and deep tune, which was almost depressing, making those who listened to it feel uncomfortable. Chapter 627. Shortly after the prologue, the music suddenly turned into a high and the venue started to turn dark. The first model then stepped out. The classic red gown was elegant and bedazzling, as if what was worn on her was not a dress but a blood-red sun setting on the horizon. The details were a result of Angelo's expertise with Chinese elements such as traditional embroidery and cloud motifs. Even though it was very attractive, when compared to James's luxurious design earlier, it was practically a wallflower, even making the crowd tired of evaluating the aesthetics. Everyone present just skimmed a look at it before scoffing. However, when the dress came into the brighter area and its entire look was revealed, everyone's gaze was fixed onto it. Even Luna was shocked herself. How? Angelo's designs that he had submitted were still his originals. They were sunset, aurora, cherry blossom, waves, snowy forest, and starry night sky. 6 types of dresses carrying elements of nature as the color palette, supplemented by Chinese traditional techniques. However, what was special was that every dress had different degrees of burns. The trace of burns did not look like flaws. In fact, it unexpectedly displayed an unusually special decadent elegance, instantly stealing everyone's attention. After a while, everyone finally regained their senses and started clapping. The odd photographers used their keen skills and quickly aimed their cameras towards the stage. Oh, wow. Burn marks. The ones on that red dress are so beautiful. It gives me the feeling of a princess who is lonely but remains elegant. That sea blue mermaid dress is so gorgeous too. The tail has been burnt to almost nothing, but it's tragically beautiful. Makes me think of the tale of the Little Mermaid princess. So unique. But how did they think of this? More and more people started looking towards the stage, every one of them astonished. After a while, the screen flickered with the theme of the participating work, Nirvana. Brilliant. Too brilliant. One of the judges immediately stood up emotionally, holding his hand to his chest and tears welling up in his eyes. It is indeed a wonderful idea. It's been so long since we've seen such spirited work. This newbie's got guts. But I like it. Because of the way it was presented, everyone's attention was focused on how brilliant the theme was and no one noticed the Chinese elements. Luna was moved beyond words. No wonder Angelo's hand was burnt, he had actually. How much determination did he need to personally burn his hard work of more than half a month? Giving it life after death was deserving of the meaning of the designs and its new theme, Nirvana reincarnated. The host of the award ceremony came from a fashion design background. He stared at the last design for a long time before regaining his senses and remembering he had a job to do. He lightly coughed and said, "Up next, let's see the scores from our judges." One after another, the judges raised their scoreboards. The first judge, 10 points. The second judge, 10 points. The third judge, 10 points. There were 5 10 points in a row. Finally, it came to the last judge, Oliver, who had the reputation of being a picky Chinese designer. Earlier for James's work, he had given the lowest score. He had been a judge for the past 8 events and was famous for being stringent. He had never once given a full score. At that moment, everyone's gaze was fixed on Oliver's hand. After a torturous wait, he slowly revealed his scoreboard, 10 points. Chapter 628. 10 points. Our final contestant's score is a full 10 points. Oh my God. It really is 10 points. This is amazing. Even our strictest judge, Teacher Oliver, gave full marks. This is unexpected. A dark horse has appeared at the end of our competition. The host was really excited. Freya screamed from her seat and hugged Angelo tightly. 10 points. It's 10 points. Wow. This is unbelievable. Director Angelo, you're really amazing. I'm going to be a die-hard fan of yours from now on. Luna gave Angelo a pat on his shoulder, beaming impressed. My baby Ange is awesome. After numerous rounds of fierce competition, our Golden Award winner has emerged. Now, we'd like to invite our last contestant, Mr. L, to come up to the stage and receive the prize. That's right, this contestant used an anonymous name to enter and I'm really curious who this mysterious contestant is. The host was very experienced at stirring up the crowd and already started creating a hot topic for everyone to gossip about. Everyone at the scene started to return to their senses. Wow. What's happening? Who's L? Where did he come from? Who knows, the screen only says the design director from Spirit Studio, and nothing else, not even his real name. Spirit Studio? Who's the owner? I've never heard of it before. The competition allowed anonymous entries and many people used pseudonyms as well. Luna did not really delve further into it when Angelo mentioned that he wanted to use a pseudonym for his entry. She let him decide, thinking that he probably wanted to only announce himself after he became successful, which was understandable. Freya thought for a while, then she realized in excitement. Wow. Sis Luna, it's your initial, isn't it? Huh. My initial? Luna did not think about it at all. Angelo nodded shyly. Oh dear, my little baby is such a sweetheart. Luna was genuinely touched. The moment the score was up, James stood up with his mouth quirking in fury, his veins visibly bulging out on his forehead. He was staring straight at the 6 dresses, and as he zoomed into the tiny details on the dresses carefully, his eyes were filled with fear. These designs were so familiar, especially how the details were handled. Could it be? No. Impossible. Angelo knew nothing aside from design, so he could not have possibly survived by himself. He did not even have a penny on him when he left. He was probably chased out by the landlord and begging on the streets by now, so how could he be back here participating in the Golden Award? Plus, he was a design major and would never do something as shady as this. How could it be? James lost. Helen exclaimed in shock. It was just some outlandish work. James clenched his teeth in irate anger. Emma did not care about the designs at all. She was only concerned about the results. She was embarrassed and glared at James coldly. Didn't you say there wouldn't be any problems? How could you lose to a nobody? Chapter 628. 10 points. Our final contestant score is a full 10 points. Oh my God. It really is 10 points. This is amazing. Even our strictest judge, Teacher Oliver, gave full marks. This is unexpected. A dark horse has appeared at the end of our competition. The host was really excited. Freya screamed from her seat and hugged Angelo tightly. 10 points. It's 10 points. Wow. This is unbelievable. Director Angelo, you're really amazing. I'm going to be a die-hard fan of yours from now on. Luna gave Angelo a pat on his shoulder, beaming impressed. My baby Ange is awesome. After numerous rounds of fierce competition, our Golden Award winner has emerged. Now, we'd like to invite our last contestant, Mr. L, to come up to the stage and receive the prize. That's right, this contestant used an anonymous name to enter, and I'm really curious who this mysterious contestant is. The host was very experienced at stirring up the crowd and already started creating a hot topic for everyone to gossip about. Everyone at the scene started to return to their senses. Wow. What's happening? Who's L? Where did he come from? Who knows? The screen only says the design director from Spirit Studio and nothing else, not even his real name. Spirit Studio? Who's the owner? I've never heard of it before. The competition allowed anonymous entries and many people used pseudonyms as well. Luna did not really delve further into it when Angelo mentioned that he wanted to use a pseudonym for his entry. She let him decide, thinking that he probably wanted to only announce himself after he became successful, which was understandable. Freya thought for a while, then she realized in excitement. Wow. Sis Luna, it's your initial, isn't it? Huh. My initial? Luna did not think about it at all. Angelo nodded shyly. Oh dear, my little baby is such a sweetheart. Luna was genuinely touched. The moment the score was up, James stood up with his mouth quirking in fury, his veins visibly bulging out on his forehead. He was staring straight at the silk dresses, and as he zoomed into the tiny details on the dresses carefully, his eyes were filled with fear. These designs were so familiar, especially how the details were handled. Could it be? No. Impossible. Angelo knew nothing aside from design, so he could not have possibly survived by himself. He did not even have a penny on him when he left. He was probably chased out by the landlord and begging on the streets by now, so how could he be back here participating in the Golden Award? Plus, he was a design major and would never do something as shady as this. How could it be? James lost. Helen exclaimed in shock. It was just some outlandish work. James clenched his teeth in irate anger. Emma did not care about the designs at all. She was only concerned about the results. She was embarrassed and glared at James coldly. Didn't you say there wouldn't be any problems? How could you lose to a nobody? Chapter 629. James clenched his teeth and hid his panic. I'll handle this, Ms. Brown, don't worry. He then signaled to a few people in the crowd. The few designers who had been relying on James's resources understood what he meant and they started to complain. Objection. So one can win an award by plagiarizing another's design and burning it? Isn't it too easy? That's right. Anyone here could burn some clothes. Shouldn't everyone get a prize then? That was just some outlandish design. After the string of complaints was released, the other designers could not keep it down anymore. They might still be alright if they were to lose to James, but it was harsh on their pride to lose to a newbie and they started to suspect the competition's fairness. What are the judges doing? Were they bribed? I'm disappointed, I didn't think Oliver would stoop this low as well. We want a rematch. The host was at a loss. He tried to calm the audience down but failed awkwardly. Following James's planting of the complaints, chaos ensued. A few judges panicked and looked at Oliver. Teacher Chu, what do you think we should do? Should we reassess the designs? We were really surprised just now, but now that I look at it, awarding a full 10 points doesn't really seem appropriate. That's right, James has a big influence in the industry and it might affect this award's reputation if we handle this badly. Oliver sneered at them, are you guys okay? Who are the judges, us or them? If all of them were experts, then why are we needed here? And why are you guys even sitting up here? Just a few words are enough to change your decision. What kind of judge are you? The few judges were embarrassed and stopped talking. Later, Oliver picked up the microphone. Well, it seems like someone's questioning my judgment. That's because you're being really unfair this time. This is obviously plagiarism. Some random burning isn't enough to cover it up, someone from the crowd expressed, full of rage. Oliver looked at the crowd coldly and declared expressionlessly, firstly, all of you have been talking about plagiarism, but what's the definition of plagiarism? Chinese trends, traditional elements, anyone can come up with these. This is a publicly available theme, not an exclusive design. It's based on one's capabilities to make it look exceptional. Secondly, can all of you burn it too? Did any of you think about it? Who thought about it? What did you do? Why didn't you do it before if you have thought about it? Oliver's question rendered the designers speechless. They realized they were being unreasonable. While it was true that anyone could do it, it was difficult to come up with the idea and execute it, which was why it caught everyone by surprise. Even if you say so, based on overall abilities, that anonymous L is nowhere near James, someone yelled out, still not convinced. Oliver used an even harsher tone and stared coldly into the crowd. As designers, all of you don't understand what you are doing. What is the purpose of this award? Chapter 630. Oliver had a powerful aura and the crowd murmured quietly, fashion design. That's right, it's an award for fashion design. The most important part of this award isn't about the model, the materials, or the skills. It comes down to ideas and creativity. The Golden Award selects the best designer, not the best model, the most expensive materials, or the most famous designer. If it were based on those criteria, anyone can become a designer. Why would all of you be needed? As decoration? Oliver was really sharp-tongued, he did not hold back at all. Everyone could not look at him straight in the eye. He then stared at James's direction and loudly stated, the Golden Award has been organized for the 23rd year in a row. Our processes are transparent and will not be affected by any third parties. It was like this in the past, it is how it is now and how it will be continued in the future. We detest those who try to manipulate the results. Anyone is welcome to oversee our judging process. His words were clearly meant to criticize James's behavior for attempting to change the results using his power and network. Anyone could easily imagine that a new designer from an unknown studio could not possibly bribe all 6 judges, while James was forcing the judges to change the result in his favor. Suddenly, the other contestants and photographers saw the sense in what Oliver was saying. They all looked at James critically. Oliver is right. The designers who were voicing out their opinions just now were trying to look for trouble. Even laymen like us were surprised. How could you say the design was bad? I've always felt that James was too arrogant. What's wrong with following the Chinese trend? Even if it was trending because of him, he was not the first one to create it. It's just as Teacher Chu said, anyone can do it. He made it sound like he invented it and anyone who follows is plagiarizing him. The award he expected to fall into his lap just disappeared. Of course, he'd panic. Do you know how much this award can bring to him? It makes sense. Most of the awards are so superficial nowadays, but Golden Award is one of the more prestigious ones. After Oliver spoke up, the other judges who panicked from the uproar started to calm down. They then explained their reasoning behind the score they assigned and a unanimous conclusion was made. With that, all of us decided that this Golden Award goes to designer L from Spirit Studio. A thunderous round of applause roared throughout the venue. Some of the invited female celebrities were really excited. The fashion industry was used to quick changes. As soon as a fresh new design was presented, it instantly caught their attention and everyone would want to get their hands on a piece of it. The celebrities who were gathering around Emma just now were now waiting to see who this mysterious designer was. The host cleared his throat and invited, "Now, we'll have designer L to come up onto the stage." The female host was smiling with the trophy in her hands, expecting the designer to be a tall, handsome man. At that moment, everyone was looking around, curious to see who this dark horse was. Especially James, who could not suppress his abhorrence towards the winner. Who was it? It was impossible that he did not know such a person within the industry. Chapter 631. When everyone was expecting designer L to go on stage, something happened. Angelo passed out. He was already suffering from a fever before, toughing it out, then he could not take it anymore. The host was urging for the mysterious designer to go on stage. Freya panicked. What to do now, Luna sis? Luna touched Angelo's burning forehead and helped him to lean on her shoulder. I'll bring him to the hospital. You take the prize for him. Huh? Me? Freya was shocked, her jaw left hanging. In the end, Freya hopped up the stage like a bunny, almost tripping from her nervousness and outdoing everyone's expectations. And her outfit today. She wore a Lolita-style dress and looked like a cute Japanese doll. What the heck? Nirvana Reincarnated's designer is a little girl? This doesn't make sense. Such a grand style. Even if it's not a man, might as well be a grown woman. Is she even legal yet? You're Nirvana Reincarnated's designer, X? The host asked in surprise. Oliver raised his eyebrows and touched his chin to ask, are you here in someone else's stead? His instinct from his experience in the industry told him that she was not the designer for Nirvana Reincarnated. Freya nodded and bowed to the audience politely. Everyone, I'm sorry, L isn't able to come today because he is not feeling well. I'm his assistant and I'm here to receive the prize in his stead. Now that made sense. As everyone let out a sigh of relief, the mystery shrouding L intensified. The competition evening finally came to an end. Freya carefully held the trophy and sneaked out even before the journalists could come to her. All the attention was shifted to James and Emma. Ms. Brown, history lost this time. Do you have anything to say? Was Oliver implying that you're trying to manipulate the competition's result? Director James, you've lost to someone even with your best design. How do you feel? James looked really unwell and he did not know what to answer. Emma's phone had been ringing non-stop after the competition results were out. They had lost a few $1 million in just a few minutes after some big customers canceled their reservations. The worst thing was that the unknown spirit studio could end up as their biggest competitor. James knew that things were bad just by looking at Emma's expression. "Miss, it's just a local award. It's nothing." "Nothing?" "In just a few minutes, we've lost $5 million. Most importantly, how could she face everyone? People said she had good taste and had a treasure in her hands. Now, she did not win the prize and was even accused of controlling the competition results." James cursed internally. $5 million, so what? Remember how much we earned before. But he still spoke carefully. "Ms. Brown, please believe me. The effect is just temporary. That designer has a similar style to mine, but we've already dominated the market. He can never take away our customers. He'd better not." Chapter 632. The next day, all the headlines in fashion news were about the dark horse that won the Golden Award. They brutally described James's awkward walk of shame and featured a picture of him getting up from his seat preparing to go up on stage for the prize. As always, the news was much more dramatic than your average gossip. New designer Elle Storm's Golden Award, a young girl? James defeated, the end of his era? Dark horse in the Golden Award, snatching the limelight. Who's behind the Spirit Studio? At Platinum Palace. It was the weekend and Theo was taking a day off. Luna had promised to bring Little Treasure to the theme park and he was up early, packing. Cleo was still in his pajamas, but he was already waving the newspaper in front of his brother. "Bro. Look. Angelo actually won the Golden Award. And with full marks. He totally dominated James. Sister-in-law is too powerful. She picked up a genius." Theo sipped his tea calmly, looking like he already knew. "But what does the pseudonym L mean? Is it anything special?" Lo, none of his initials is an L. Cleo thought about it and then it dawned on him. Luna, oh. Cleo carefully glanced at his brother, quickly commenting, "This guy is really loyal," using his boss initial as the name. As they were talking, Butler Yuan escorted Luna in. Cleo stared at Luna. "Luna, you're here. You're really dirty-minded." Luna scowled at him. "What's wrong with you? How am I dirty-minded?" Cleo pointed his fingers at the 6 dresses on the newspaper. "Your design theme." Luna rolled her eyes at him. "What are you talking about?" "Rebirth from the fire, it's such a positive theme." Cleo gave her a suggestive look and said, "But I can only think of one thing." "What did you think of?" Luna was not expecting anything good to come out of his mouth. Cleo replied seriously, "Woman, you're playing with fire." Luna was annoyed. She could not stand him anymore. "You're the dirty-minded one." She ignored him and went to Theo. "Boss, where's Little Treasure?" Little Treasure ran out as soon as he heard Luna's voice. Luna lifted him up. "Are you ready?" Little Treasure patted his bag, signaling that he was more than ready to go. "All right, then we'll go now." Luna was traveling out of the country for a roadshow tomorrow. One of the areas she would be going to was America and she planned to go Philadelphia then to meet YS. Before she left, she wanted to have fun with Little Treasure. "It's a weekend and there'll be a lot of people. Be careful," Theo reminded them from the sofa. Luna held Little Treasure up and blinked. "Boss, aren't you not coming with us?" Theo was surprised and he looked up from his documents. "You want me to go?" Usually, he would not disturb them when Luna brought Little Treasure out since he thought that they might not have as much fun if they were with him, so he did not expect Luna to ask him. Chapter 633. Luna nodded honestly. "Yeah." But then, she remembered something. "Oh, there'll be quite a lot of people and it's pretty childish." "Boss, if you don't like it, then." "I like it." Theo put down his documents instantly, standing up to take his coat from the hanger. Luna's eyes shone. She had been afraid that Theo might not go and did not expect him to agree so easily. Little Treasure was a little closer to Theo now, so he was quite pleased to know that his father was going together. His eyes were gleaming with excitement. This was the first time he was going out with both Auntie Luna and father together. Looking at the happy family, a dead fish lay on the sofa in despair. Leaving me all alone again. Luna patted Cleo's head. Be good and stay at home, I'll bring you back some candy. Humph. Do you think I'm some kid? I don't want candy. Cleo looked upset. I want cotton candy. The rainbow-colored one. Luna was speechless. The three of them reached the theme park by car. Because there would be a grand firework display happening at night, there were a lot of people today, mostly families and couples. I'll hold Little Treasure, Theo said. Luna was worried that Little Treasure might get squished in her arms, so she handed him over. Okay. Theo held Little Treasure in one hand and guided Luna's shoulder with another as they walked towards one of the attractions together. Theo liked the quiet. He hated this kind of environment with crowds, but he was not showing his discomfort at all. He accompanied Luna and Little Treasure patiently the whole day, even cooperating and taking a lot of selfies with them. To Luna's delight, he set one of it as his phone wallpaper. As the night fell, Theo had Little Treasure's bag on his back with a few zodiac masks hanging on his neck. In one hand were a few packets of snacks, while the other was holding the cotton candy Cleo asked for. He followed them around without any complaints at all. Quick. Theo, let's go there. The firework display is going to start soon. Luna held Little Treasure's hand and ran in front, but she came back after a while and clung onto Theo's arm. Theo looked at her in surprise. It was as if they were really a family. Finally, the fireworks show started. A bright light rose up from the horizon and exploded in the air, with a boom, and the sky was beautifully lit up. Numerous fireworks started popping. During the fireworks show, Luna turned her head towards the man standing beside her, looking at his side profile which was illuminated by the fireworks. Theo noticed her gaze and turned to her. Luna opened her mouth and said something, but the sound of the fireworks was too loud for him to hear anything, so he gave her a confused look. Under the sky full of fireworks, she closed in and said it again. She repeated her words, although she knew he would not be able to hear it. Theo, I like you. Chapter 634. At night. After he had sent Luna and Little Treasure back to the Regal Riviera Hotel, Theo did not go home right away. He called Cleo and asked him to meet at a bar instead. Bro, you asked me out to a bar. I thought I was hallucinating. Under the dim light, Theo's face was hidden in the shadows. There was a long silence before he spoke up. Is it possible? Possible? For? Cleo was confused. Luna might have fallen for someone else, Theo said. Cleo opened his eyes wide. Huh? Who? Me. Cleo almost spat out the drink he just gulped. Why do you think so? Feels like it. Cleo scratched his head. Bro, did something happen today? There was a thick knot in between Theo's brows. It seems like she said, she likes me. What? Luna said she likes you? Cleo recovered from his excitement after a while. Wait, why did you say, seems like? During the fireworks show in the theme park, she said something to me, but it was too loud and I couldn't hear anything. Theo frowned, as if trying very hard to remember. Cleo returned to his excited mode again. But you know how to read lips. So, you understood. Reading lips isn't always 100% accurate, and the environment made it hard to focus. Most importantly, it just did not seem possible. He did not even notice the first time. When she said it the second time as she closed in on him, he did not really read her lips properly as well. He had just glanced a little, not daring to jump to conclusions. What made him suspicious was not what she said, but her eyes when she said it. Her eyes at that moment were so beautiful, as if they were speaking directly to his heart. From her eyes, he saw something he had never thought about before. Bro, why don't you test Luna after she returns? It was a rare occasion that Theo agreed with Cleo's suggestion. He himself wanted to know the answer as well. The next day after they returned from the theme park, Luna took an early morning flight out of the country. After several days of promoting the movie, she and the crew finally reached their last stop, Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. Because it was not one of the featured cities, most of the crew did not want to go as they were tired from the previous venues. The only actress with slightly more scenes in the movie who was willing to go was Luna, and David was genuinely touched. She worked diligently without any complaints and was never one to snatch the limelight. He even had Luna in mind for a new movie the following year and would like to have her as the main protagonist. For some reason, Adam decided to attend this last day of promotion since he only appeared at 1 or 2 events for the past few days. He slept through the whole flight. As he took off his sleeping mask, he saw Luna was reading a script under a dim light and was speechless. "Luna, what's wrong with you? Why are you working so hard?" Luna realized that they were going to take off soon, so she put her script away and glanced at Adam. "How will I support Theo if I don't work hard now?" Adam was once again speechless. She wanted to provide for Theo? Was that not too difficult a goal? Chapter 635. Adam ignored his thoughts and mumbled, "Then wouldn't my uncle have to wait until the day he dies?" "Shut up. Stop jinxing me. I'm telling the truth. It might still be possible to provide for me though." Luna rolled her eyes at him. "I like to challenge the impossible." Adam felt his heart ache when he looked at the girl as he knew she was being serious this time. He thought that she had already given up, but he had underestimated her. From the cowardly little girl she was, she now chose to be by his side. He had always thought that this girl was heartless. Now, he understood that she was not heartless, it was just not meant for him. Adam suppressed his feelings and he gave her a pat on the shoulder. "Do you want to go for a drink tonight? The best nightclubs in the world are in D.C." The United States had a wide social divide. There were extremely rich places like D.C., but there were ghost towns like Philadelphia too. "I know you'll have other intentions." Luna stared at him despicably. "No, I want to sleep." Tomorrow was the promised day to meet YS and she needed to prepare herself. The crew was leaving tomorrow afternoon. After some rest tonight, she would go to Philadelphia to meet YS early in the morning, then she would be back by the time the crew had to leave. "Luna, what's wrong with you? You're not even with him yet and you're avoiding nightclubs already." Luna shook her head. "Those who don't have someone they like would never understand." "How do you know that I don't have someone I like?" "Ah, there is someone." "Who?" "A bastard." "Perfect, a brat like you would need a bastard to hold you down." "You." After the roadshow ended for the day, the whole crew went out to have fun. Luna declined their invitation and went back to the hotel to sleep. At 5 a.m. in the morning, the alarm rang. Luna opened her eyes, picked up her bag and went on her way to Philadelphia. On the outskirts of Philadelphia, she went to a restaurant for breakfast, then changed her outfit in the washroom. By the time she came out, she was dressed in a male outfit. First Brother Sr. had told her that their meeting point was one of their spots, an underground casino in the center of Philadelphia. She was familiar with Philadelphia because she had stayed here for a year before, but riots happened frequently here and most of the buildings were rebuilt, causing her to lose her bearings. After a long while, she finally recognized some of the landmarks. Due to the government's effort, there were a lot of patrolling police cars on the street. The city looked much better than before without fights breaking out in the daytime. What Luna did not know was that she was being watched the moment she had stepped into the States. "Boss, that woman has reached Philadelphia." "Really?" On a leather sofa, a blond man with blue eyes seemed to be tucking his long hair under his ear, but there was nothing there. Both his ears were sliced off. "It's true, I was worried that we might not be able to do anything in D.C., but some of our men saw her exit the hotel and come to Philadelphia. She's even changed into a male outfit and we almost couldn't recognize her. But this proves one thing." Chapter 636. As he spoke, he put down 2 pictures on the table. Luna Wood. Both of them are the same person. But why isn't she with Satan? She also used another identity and stayed beside Theo. Interesting. Augustine touched his chin. Do you want me to check it out? His henchman asked. Augustine waved his hand impatiently. Nope, it doesn't matter, she's going to die here, today. The henchman was shocked. Boss, you want to, she has ties with Satan. Because of her, Satan even had Trevor. Shut up. Augustine felt a burning pain at the spot his ears were sliced off as he felt humiliated and ordered them angrily. You dare defy my orders? No, sir. Get her alive. I'll let them see how I'll torture this woman to death. The man's eyes were filled with bloodlust. Had it not been for this woman, his plan would not have failed and he would not have gotten himself into this situation without any alliance and any weapons. They cared a lot about this woman and they would now taste the price of humiliating him. The henchman was really bothered and he reminded Augustine again, if Satan finds out about this. Augustine sneered, that piece of crap is now hiding in the Straits of Malacca. By the time he finds out, the woman's body would already be rotting. Moreover, there will be people here to get us out tomorrow, so what are you afraid of? Don't you want to get revenge for Phiro and Alice? The henchman clenched his teeth. Okay. I'll bring more men over. That woman seems like a big trouble to deal with. Augustine pushed the scantily clad girl out of his arms. Wait, I'll go myself. After Luna was clear of her direction, she did not go to the casino immediately, dodging into a small discreet shop instead. Sir, get me a Glock 17. She was not able to get the P226 Theo had given her through the customs, so she could only buy one here to defend herself. She did not feel secure enough to walk around here without a gun. In the shop, a fat man was cleaning a pile of bullets and he did not even bother to raise his head. We don't deal with fresh customers. Sir, are you sure that I'm fresh? Luna looked at him with a grin. The owner raised his head impatiently. After he realized who it was, his jowls trembling and the bullets in his hands fell onto the floor. He then crawled under the table and asked, Didn't you leave? Why are you back? He quickly looked behind her to see if there was anyone else. Luna knew what he was looking at. This small little shop was one of the largest underground trading grounds. There were a lot of interesting items here, not just weapons but also ancient medicine. She used to come here with second senior brother just to take items away from here. The owner would always get a headache whenever he saw them. Take whatever you want, the owner urged her quickly, not wanting her to stay any longer. Luna walked around and picked up a gun herself. How much is it? No. I don't want your money. Just go. Luna said unhappily, I can't do that, I'm a decent person now. Chapter 637. The owner was on the verge of crying. My lord, what do you want? Luna looked innocently at him. I want to pay. The owner did not dare to take her money and wrung his hands. I don't want it. I really don't want it. Luna's temper flared. Damn it. I said I want to pay. I'll punch you. He was breaking her life principles. After a long while, the owner gave her a price and she paid the money, leaving satisfied. The owner looked at the money on the table and trembled. He did not expect that she would really pay. Fortunately, Luna saw a taxi after she came out of the shop and flagged it down to take a ride straight to her destination. She closed her eyes and rested for a little, then she heard a loud bang from the back of the car. Something had hit the car from the back very hard. People living in Philadelphia mostly had great instincts for trouble. The driver reacted quickly and ran away, abandoning his taxi after realizing something was not right. Luna quickly followed and went out of the car. She thought that it was some riot or robbery happening, but she knew it was something more when 4 men came out from the car which had hit the taxi and surrounded her, all pointing their guns at her. It was a life-threatening situation. Luna instinctively reached her hand to the gun on her hips. What happened? They were here for her. She had never seen these fair-skinned men before and she did not remember causing any trouble on her way here. There was no way they could be her old enemies since none of them would dare to attack her in the day. Put down your gun. The leader, wearing a black sleeveless shirt, looked at her with scorn and snapped, quickly. The man seemed to know that she had a good aim and he was being wary of her gun. He then released a shot near her foot as a warning. The other 3 men stared at her carefully, watching for any sudden movements. Bang! Dust rose from the ground beside Luna's foot. Luna understood that she was at a total disadvantage and she had no means to counter, so she clenched her teeth and tossed her gun away. The leader let out a short sigh of relief, then he put up a ferocious expression. You witch, you killed my brothers. I'm going to take revenge for them today. I killed your brothers? Who are they? Are you mistaken? Luna was confused and tried to get them to talk more, so she could assess the environment nearby. The man flew into a rage. Stop talking. Raise your hands and come over slowly. Suddenly, Luna saw a police car pass by and she felt really glad. No matter how fearsome these people were, they would not dare to oppose the police. As she was about to call for help, the police car came straight to them. The police in uniform walked over with a smile and acted really pally with the leader. What's going on, man? Not much, just some personal matter. Please help me to look out and not let anyone come near here. We don't want to hurt anyone innocent. Sure, no problem. Luna looked at the police car in dismay as it went away. Not only was she not saved, but her escape route was also sealed off. Damn it, it seemed like these people were pretty influential. Chapter 638. The leader was impatient. Since he thought she had no means of attacking now, he signaled for his men to grab her. As they moved, 3 gunshots were fired. Bang, bang, bang. 3 men went down in just a second. The leader looked at his men, his expression turning pale. He saw Luna was holding a gun with smoke coming out of it and she was now aiming at his head. Didn't you throw your gun away? The man looked at the gun on the floor in disbelief. It was still lying there. Luna rolled her eyes like she was looking at an idiot. Who told you I only had 1 gun? She had bought 2. The leader was infuriated and cursed, "Fuck. You cunning Asian. You're just too stupid," Luna sneered at him. Who do you think is faster, you or I? The man's hand was trembling and sweat started to fall from his brow. He would not have been afraid if she was an average woman, but now he knew that this was Luna Wood. Rumor had it that she had the best gunmanship among the people around Satan. She took advantage of the stress the man was going through and fired a shot when she had the chance. Bang! The man reacted swiftly. He avoided his vitals being shot at and was hit on his shoulder instead, his gun clattering onto the floor. That was good enough for her to escape. She did not want to stay there any longer and just wanted to leave. Suddenly, there was the sound of many footsteps pattering. Dozens and dozens of armed men surrounded her. The leader who was shot was smugly grinning at ease now as he respectfully walked towards a blond man with blue eyes and addressed, "Boss." The blue-eyed man looked like the leader of everyone here. He expressionlessly glanced at the 3 bodies and his injured henchmen. The man had fair skin and a tall nose, blue eyes and long blonde hair, but his ears looked a little weird. A breeze blew and Luna saw it clearly. The man had no ears. The man then looked at the helpless Luna, giving her a creepy look. He used a tone matching his twisted expression and taunted, "Run, why don't you continue running? Don't you Chinese have a saying? You don't follow the path to the heavens, yet you barge into the doorless hell." Luna cursed at herself while looking at all the men around her. What was wrong with them? Did they prepare these many men just to catch her? Did they think that they were fighting a mob boss or something? Philadelphia was their old spot, but their main forces were moved to some other city. It seemed like this place was now controlled by this blonde man with blue eyes. She was now like a rat in a trap with no means to escape. What could she do? As she was thinking, the blonde man advanced towards her slowly and looked at her suggestively. "So, you're Satan's woman?" Chapter 639. When she heard what he said, only one word appeared in her mind: sheet. She was just a nobody. How could she attract all these people on her own? Now, the culprit was clear. No. Luna replied instantly. The man gave her a cold smile and pinched her chin. No. He broke off our alliance all because of you. My ears are gone because of his man. Luna would as well. This man's ears were sliced by first senior brother. After hearing the man's bitter words, Luna got an idea of what was happening. She remembered the last time she was here when she encountered the people in the abandoned arsenal when she was looking for Theo. From Annie's message, she knew that these people were in an alliance with the organization, but the relationship had been destroyed because of this incident. After Luna realized what had happened, she had a more serious expression on her face. If what she thought was true, she was going to end up dead here. It was no use denying her relationship with Satan here. She had killed this man's underling and he would never let her go. That guy's woman, huh? I'd like to have a taste. The earless man dragged his finger down her neck and rubbed her skin suggestively, making Luna disgusted. With a flash of reflected light, the man used a dagger and sliced through Luna's shirt from the top of her collar. Luna's coat and inner shirt were cut through and her fair skin was exposed. This looming view was even more seductive than her being nude, and all the men stared at her passionately. Luna knew what they were thinking just by looking at them. She was surrounded, her only gun had been taken away from her and she had no means of protecting herself. She would end up dead anyway, so she might as well try. As the men were staring at her distractedly, she kicked the man's groin. Bang! A bullet went straight into her thigh and she cried out in pain. She had reacted quickly enough and avoided it from entering her vitals. The man covered his attacked groin, embarrassed. You really have a death wish. All the guns were aimed at her right now. She would be dead the moment the man gave his signal. Luna looked at them coldly. Yes, she would rather die. The man realized what she was thinking and he grabbed her by her hair, snarling, "You're not going to die so easily." The whole of Philadelphia was already under his control. He was king here. While Satan might not be able to get here because of the trouble he was having right now, even if he did come, he would end up dead here as well. No one could ever hope to help this woman escape. The man's gaze made Luna uneasy, on top of the disgust and contempt she felt from his suggestive looks. Some cars passed by and the drivers looked to see what was happening as the road had been blocked, but their faces all went pale after realizing what was happening. Out of fear, they ignored Luna's signal for help and zoomed off as quickly as they could. After her signals for help failed several times, Luna gave up on expecting any passerby to save her. Chapter 640. Are you still expecting someone to come and save you? Mocked the man, looking at Luna like his prey with a sardonic smile. The whole of Philadelphia is now under our control, so you'd better give up now. Any hope you have now will just add to your despair later on, the man told Luna with a smirk on his face. Since her wish to live was being snuffed out, it was easy for her to seek death. Tens of guns aimed at Luna and she morbidly imagined the numerous holes which would riddle her body the moment the man gave his signal. The man was relaxed like a cat that caught the mouse. Luna was an easy prey in his hands, one he would only eat after getting bored of playing with. Little girl, rest assured that we won't kill you soon. We will only torture you to death after we're done having fun with you. For now, our game has just begun. Luna did not express any fear and acted exceptionally calm, making the man unhappy. He wanted to see Luna beg him for forgiveness. Suddenly, Luna mustered up her strength and struggled to break free of the man's grip. She shoved him and then ran away, limping. Luna's thigh had been shot, so she ran slower than she wished she could and blood was oozing out of her wound. Bang! Another gunshot was fired from behind her, the bullet ricocheting off the ground in front of Luna, creating a powder storm of rocks and sand. Luna clenched her teeth and powered through as if she was not afraid of death. The man used his right hand to hold the gun which was still emitting smoke as he said sourly, "Who gave you permission to shoot? There's no fun playing with a dead mouse. Plus, I have a lot of time today." "Boss, I understand. My bad." The henchman who fired the shot just now nodded fearfully. As they watched the woman's stumbling silhouette get away, the man patiently called after her, "Little girl, run. It's more fun that way, how exciting." Ha 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 ha. The man's ear-piercing maniacal cackle haunted Luna, echoing in the air. Sometime later, Luna's right leg was becoming numb and she slowed down even more. She turned to look over her shoulder and could not see any of them anymore. Night soon fell. Stars blanketed the sky and the moon shone brightly. Luna simply bandaged her leg with a strip of her shirt and she had painstakingly removed the bullet by herself, but the pain remained. It was much more bearable now though, compared to before. At least, her leg would still be functional after this. Luna laughed bitterly at herself. Here she was, still worrying if her leg would be functional when she did not even know if she could get out of Philadelphia alive. She actually knew what was going to happen to her but did not want to admit it. She already felt in her bones that something bad was going to happen, but this was 100 times worse than what she expected. How did her romantic misfortune turn into a death trap? Only people who gave up on worldly desires had no fear of death, but now, she was afraid. Afraid that she would die.